Everyone, and welcome back with another food review. This time we're doing Subway, but in particular we're doing Subway breakfast. Just got out of the Subway and got me some breakfast. Everyone knows Subway. Subway's synonymous with American culture. I actually read a couple years back that there's actually more Subway locations than any other restaurant location or any other restaurant in America. There's more Subways than there are McDonald's, and part of that is their franchise model, the way they make it fairly simple for people to get into the franchising setup. There's some controversy around it. I know, I've heard the controversies too, so I'm not saying that Subway's perfect, but it's just there's a bunch of them. Everywhere you go, there's a Subway. Literally, it feels like everywhere you go, there's a Subway. I would have thought McDonald's would have been maybe number one, or maybe Starbucks, but no, it's Subway. And I've had Subway millions of times, but never have I had Subway breakfast until now. And what I decided to order was what looked like to me their best item. It's the steak, the steak, egg, and cheese. Yeah, the steak, egg, and cheese flatbread. The lady was really nice. She basically told me that if you're gonna get this steak, egg, and cheese sandwich, you want to get it with flatbread, and you want to get it with I don't know, I can't think of the word. The items that it normally comes with: onions, some bell peppers, and some chipotle sauce. And she recommended that the cheese would be pepper jack cheese. So it's steak, egg, pepper jack cheese, onions, bell peppers, and chipotle sauce on a flatbread. And the flatbreads are typically 6 inches. I don't know if they have a foot-long flatbread. So we are going to see what this is all about. Not that expensive either, I have to say. Let me get everything set up here. I got some coffee from 7-Eleven, the cousin of Subway. Feels like everywhere you go, there's a 7-Eleven as well. There's not as many 7-Elevens as there are Subways, of course, but yeah. I love the coffee that I'm having too is a hazelnut flavor. I love the hazelnut flavor that the 7-Eleven, the local 7-Eleven that I'm at, and I'm aware that different 7-Elevens have different flavors of coffee, but the coffee station at the 7-Eleven that I go to has a hazelnut flavored coffee, and then I put the hazelnut cream. So yeah, I like me some hazelnut. Always 3 creams. And I got this at Subway as well. Tropicana, 100% orange juice. 100%, yeah. 100%. Let's see what this is about. Let's see how good it tastes. That tastes like 100% juice. A little bit of acidicness to it. Not too sweet. All right. Let's get to the piece de resistance, right? Let's see what this is about. Let me get the meat all in there. We're gonna see what you're made of here. I have great expectations. Oop, there's a little bit of the meat that fell out. All right, let's go on this side. First bite. Good. I almost wanted to go with like a regular type of bread, like a whole wheat or white bread. But the lady said the default option is flatbread. I think that was the right call. It goes well together. I mean, I'm mostly tasting, I don't know what I'm tasting. I was gonna say I'm mostly tasting the steak, but you never really know with Subway. I mean, Subway meat is not like Taco Bell meat, but you never know for sure. Okay. I got a little more of everything on that one. That's good. The bell peppers, I like them. And normally I'm not a huge bell pepper person, but for this sandwich, it goes well. Adds a nice crunch to it. Feels like you're biting onto something crunchy, but healthy. I mean, it's clearly the healthiest thing in here. The onions. I know some people don't like onions. My wife does not like onions, but I like onions. And it adds that, kind of adds, it's a little bit of saltiness. There's always a little bit of saltiness to onions, but also just a little bit of extra flavor. That aftertaste that you get with onions. But it goes well. Onions, eggs, cheese, some bell peppers, kind of goes well together there. The pepper jack too, I'm now starting to taste and get a little bit of that spice coming in. I'm starting to feel that. You get that with pepper jack cheese. Pepper jack cheese is usually not super spicy, but there's always a little bit of spice to it. But it's good. I'd recommend it. Would I have this every day for breakfast? Good God, no. It's a heart attack waiting to happen. But every once in a while, this is not bad. If you want your eggs. I noticed the eggs too, like they had it like pre-cooked. They had like the white and the yolk kind of in a pre-cooked setup, and then of course they put their subs into a little oven, and so the eggs aren't freshly made. But it also doesn't look like the McDonald's eggs from a McMuffin, or from not a McMuffin, but from a McGriddle. If you've ever had a McGriddle McDonald's, you know what I'm talking about, where the eggs are like this flat thing that's folded together, and like, you know, that's not even real egg. That's like God knows what. Tastes good though. Tastes like an egg, but it's not a real egg. This, at least when they put it into the sandwich, and what's nice about Subway is you see how they construct their sandwich together. You saw the egg thing that they put in there. At least it looks real. So yeah, I went with the default option. I went with the option that the lady said this is what is the default standard of the sandwich. Of course, you can always customize with Subway. You can add different things, but again, it was on a flatbread, steak, the egg, the pepper jack cheese is what she suggested anyways, bell peppers, onions, and then chipotle sauce. And the chipotle sauce, it's a perfect kick. A little bit of spice, but it's not too much. I actually love sriracha sauce. I love the sriracha sauce that they have at Subway. But I think for this sandwich, first thing in the morning, you want a little bit of spice, but you don't want too much spice. And I think the sriracha would have been too overpowering. Usually when I have Subway, I have it later on in the day. And so you can afford to have that sriracha, maybe, that sriracha kick by the end of the day. But in the morning, I feel like this is just right. So this gets my seal of approval. And I'm going to continue eating this even after this video concludes. So until next time, see ya.